Enemy MOAB incoming.
Hey guys and girls, how you all doing? It's Kirsty, or Double FTK as usual, with another gameplay commentary. And we're actually here with a gameplay from another player. He's a subscriber, and you guys know how much I do enjoy bringing you guys Beast subscriber gameplays. And I don't know, it doesn't help you guys out that much because of course I'm not some 100k channel, but I do like to just give back as much as I can. And when I actually had this gameplay sent to me, I thought it was pretty damn epic and entertaining. And I figured that you guys would think that too. So definitely go and check out this player. He goes by the name on YouTube of the Unique Assassin. And an assassin he definitely is. You will notice that this kid is a bit of a slayer. And he actually hasn't been doing YouTube for very long. But he has a huge amount of potential just because he is so good at the game. Because like I have spoken about heaps of times before, that just these days on YouTube you really do need to have the whole package, and it definitely helps if you are just naturally good at the game. When this kid is, he hasn't actually been commentating for very long, and he sort of reminds me of me when I was just starting out. You know, commentary wasn't really my strong point, but I could play the game pretty damn well too. But you will notice that you do get a lot more experience from just making videos and just having subscribers wanting to actually watch your gameplay, and you definitely improve when it comes to commentary. And I can already see the Unique Assassin really improving really quickly, and I'm sure that you guys would sort of like to be around at the start of that, because definitely his gameplays are very entertaining. So go and check him out. As you can see, he's using the Magnum setup, and the only reason that he was actually using this was because he was trying to do one of J Nasty's challenges. So I guess we have to say thank you for Justin as well, because that's probably the only reason that this gameplay actually come about. I'm not really going to talk about the gameplay though, although I will actually let you guys know that this is a 100 kill game and it is a very close game. And he is just one person, he is just playing solo, so definitely keep that in mind. I'm not sure about you guys at home, but when I play on my own, I pretty much don't give a shit. I don't know, I just find it a little bit less frustrating than being the only one capping flags just to still win by 2 points, and then to still have, you know, clans of 6 message me and tell me what a noob I am because I couldn't win. So, I do sort of understand why it is that this is a very close game, but it is a loss unfortunately. And he is playing on his own, so don't hate on him too much for that, guys. I did say that, you know, so leave him alone and definitely go to his channel, go and check out his content, and I'm sure you'll enjoy it. Anyway though guys, let's get on to today's topic, because it has been a while since I've done a proper topic commentary other than sort of Dear Kirsty episodes and things like that, which really have a pretty big influence from you guys at home. So this is actually a topic that's been in my head for a little while now that I've really wanted to do, and I just haven't had the right opportunity, the right length gameplay, and all of that sort of stuff. So when this gameplay was actually sent to me, I pretty much had it in my head that, alright, this was the commentary I'm going to do. So what I actually wanted to talk about today, guys, was I wanted to talk about gaming networks, partnerships, and primarily some of the cheap and nasty, dirty, whatever you want to call it, tactics that are implemented by some of these networks in order to pretty much deceive a whole bunch of us. And I don't know, I thought that I could sort of expose a bit of this practice somewhat, because I'm sure that a lot of people aren't really that aware of what actually goes on with some of these smaller networks in particular. Before I go any further though, take note that I'm not actually talking about the large networks like Yaush, Machinima, those sort of networks where you actually apply. I'm more so going to be actually talking about the networks that have recruiters that scout around the internet, pretty much trying to just mislead people. But before I really get into a more in-depth version of sort of these cheap and nasty tactics, I will just give some of you subscribers a little bit of a rundown on networks and partnerships, just for probably that 2% of people who are watching this who don't actually understand. I will be really brief though guys, just for you guys that have been around a little bit, so don't worry about that. Alright, I'm sure some of you guys would have noticed that in my channel in particular recently, certain things have changed. There have been ads added to my videos, my background has a bit of a different look about it, And you'd also notice I now have the ability to make custom thumbnails, which are those little pictures that go alongside the videos. Well, that's one of the perks of partnership. And when you actually get a partnership, you generally have to go through an actual network when it comes to making gaming videos, just because of actual copyrights and things like that. And so I'm sure that you guys understand by now that the purpose behind these actual big networks is for these networks to make money. And that, of course, is their prime concern, like most businesses in life. And at the end of the day, the ones that are actually making the money are these networks. They're not individuals like me or you at home. They are these networks. So it's a big sort of money-making business for some of these companies. And some of the smaller ones who are struggling somewhat compared to the sort of bigger names, you know, such as Machinima, The Game Station, Yoush. All those larger names are doing quite well. But then we have some of these smaller networks that really do struggle to actually make ends meet, so to speak. Because I know everyone thinks that there's so much money behind making YouTube videos, but it's really not the case. And unless networks have access to people who are gaining hundreds of thousands of views per day, and they have multiple people like this, then the network's not really going to make that much money, so just keep that in mind. So there's two ways of actually getting involved in one of these networks. You either apply, or some networks have these particular people called recruiters, who just pretty much run around the internet trying to recruit whoever they want. And these are the guys I'm actually talking about. So I'm sure some of you guys with reasonable sized channels, you know, sort of people who are thinking about getting a partnership soon, have actually been contacted by some of these smaller networks. And you'd actually think that some of these people contacting you were actual employees of these networks. But don't get me wrong, they're not. They're really, really not. And I've found out recently that these people will pretty much do anything in order to get you on side. And you'd really wonder why. You'd really think, why are these people wanting to so desperately hand out partnerships? Well guys, I'm going to tell you right now exactly why that is. These people, a lot of these recruiters, are actually YouTubers themselves. But they are YouTubers that are on very small views. So, of course, they've got this big idea in their head that they want a partnership. And, well, fuck, if you don't put in the work, you don't get the partnership. That's just the way it works. But some of these recruiters have actually been told, alright, now if you go out and recruit, say, a certain number of people in a certain time frame, well, then you can have a partnership too. And I suppose on some levels this is fair, because, well, they are actually using their time in order to help some of these networks. But on another level, I don't know, I feel that this is being abused by quite a lot of recruiters and quite a lot of networks. You guys would actually know that in my personal experience, I actually opted to not get partnered until very recently. And the reason for that was I actually felt that when you actually get to a certain amount of subscribers and views and such, that it's actually counterproductive to your channel to not have things like custom thumbnails and pretty backgrounds and things like that. So I did take the plunge, and I did finally get partnered, but that wasn't before receiving at least 100, if not more, random emails from these random recruiters and networks and things like that who were trying to get me on side. And I didn't mind being asked, that's fair enough. But a lot of these people weren't just asking, they were being pretty damn pushy. And some of them were even being outwardly misleading. I actually had one person in particular on Twitter, he was a recruiter for one of these networks, who was trying to tell me that all of these certain well-known YouTubers were part of his little no-name network. And I knew for a fact that this wasn't true, because I actually knew some of these people that he was talking about. So he was sitting there openly lying to me, pretty much trying to get me to sign my channel away that I'd worked pretty hard, honestly, to actually maintain at that point. Why? So that he could have a partnership for his channel. And just to make it worse, it's not just the lure of possible partnership for their own channel. Some of these networks and these recruiters also have bosses, so to speak, breathing down their necks, pretty much telling them they have a certain quota that they need to fill. I couldn't believe it when I actually heard this from a few different people who were expected to get certain amounts of numbers by a specific date, sometimes within a 24-hour period, or they would then not be a recruiter anymore. And the thing that was happening to some of these kids is they'd recruit 5 or 6 or 7 guys, and then they'd be pretty much told, well look, you didn't get the 10 we asked for, so see you later. So the network would be happy with a couple of new partners they didn't need to work for, and the original recruiter was pretty much in the same position he was always in, not partnered. So anyway guys, just really keep this in mind if you're considering getting a partnership soon, and really be careful of what messages in your inbox you actually believe or even pay attention to. Make sure you do your research, and make sure whoever you're speaking to is actually a real recruiter, because my friend Helmut's actually had a horrible experience where a random troll was pretending to be a recruiter from quite a significant network, who in the end ended up pretty much screwing my friend over. I will leave his link in the description as well, and you can check both of these guys out. Anyway though guys, that's all for now. The end of the gameplay got cut short, so we did actually put the scoreboard in there just for you guys' enjoyment. I really hope that you've enjoyed this little bit of an eye-opener, and don't forget to MOAB that like button guys. Talk to you all soon. Peace out.